We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is.
Hello. My name is Chel. My pronouns are they, them, and this is Phaescraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, see what's possible, feel the energy of the week ahead. It's July 1st. I love when the first of a month lines up with a Monday. It feels serendipitous and just extra magical for my, pattern-loving brain. Of course, you can start over any day, any minute, but something feels really cool and special about a Monday, a first of the month, the first day of the second half of the year. It's nice. It feels good to me, and hopefully it feels good to you too. So, here we are, collective tarot readings. It might not 100% feel right for you or land with you, and that's okay. You can take whatever feels like it aligns, and if it doesn't, then you can leave that behind. But just remember that this is a look at what's available for the week to come. So if right now things don't really feel like they make sense, revisit this on Friday, revisit this on Sunday. Things might start to align for you. And as always, these are just really beautiful, but little pictures on pieces of cardboard. They are here for guidance, not direction. Although that might seem like the same thing, it's different, at least a little bit. Guidance feels more gentle, more like a nudge, and direction feels more forceful to me. But anyway, I'll stop yammering on for now. Let's go ahead and take a couple moments to breathe and center and get into space together. And then we'll dive in. So, I'm going to close my eyes. I invite you to do the same if it feels safe and good to do so. Just take a couple of breaths. Let yourself feel your body in space. Your shoulders rising and falling. Your rib cage expanding and softening. And feel into wherever your body is making contact with the ground, whether it be your feet on the floor, your seat in a chair, your back on your bed. Feel that point of contact and feel yourself anchored and grounded into the present moment. I'm going to call to the spirits and guardians of the elements, and as I name them, I invite you to imagine a circle of stones growing up from the ground, maybe a ring of fire, maybe a moat of clear blue water, or simply a force field of air holding out all unwanted and negative energy. Imagine these elements holding you, surrounding you, and keeping you in this space. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north, of earth, of the deepest roots and the tallest trees, the stardust that gave shape to this planet and to our bones. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east, of air, of wind and breath, of thought and change. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south, of fire, the life-giving sun, and the powers of creation and destruction, cleansing and renewal. Hail and welcome. And I call to the spirits and guardians of the west, of water, of the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears. Hail and welcome. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. You can take another deep breath here. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Cool. Magical. All right, let's see what's up for this week. Oh, friends, if I look tired, if I sound tired, it's because I am. I am what my friend Laura lovingly refers to as an inside cat. I don't really like going out or being around people if I don't have to. And for my day job, my mundane job, I had to work at the local Pride Festival both days, and it was a lot of people, a lot of sun. And if you know me, I'm also a vampire. I don't like the sun. It hurts me. It pains me. It makes me tired. But I made it. I'm here. We're here together. Saturn just started going retrograde, which you might not feel too much in your day-to-day with Saturn retrograde. It's kind of bigger themes, more expansive collective energy, but it is a good time. It's in retrograde until November, I think. And it's a good time to just like revisit, reground, redevelop your day-to-day, your goals, your long-term investments. Saturn is time. Saturn invites you to take time and to use time creatively, to bend it to your will. I myself got a reading last week, and the idea of time magic came up quite a bit, so I'm going to be exploring that myself this month. There we go. We've already got some major heartache coming out to start. The Ten of Swords was our first card, but it was followed by the Ace of Cups, so don't worry too much. We also have the Three of Swords. But as I'll talk about in a moment, and as we'll talk about in my upcoming class, reading hard cards, both of those cards will be involved in the class. It's not all darkness when we get these cards. In fact, it's often more light than we realize. Okay. Ooh. Y'all, judgment, once again. We aren't listening. Or maybe we're listening and it's just taking a while. That is the thing with collective readings too. Like, yes, I'm looking at the week, but there's also broad energies that come through. And judgment won't leave us alone. Different decks every time, just keeps showing up. Is that really it to start? No. Okay. Okay, that feels like the final grouping here. And Temperance. Some of our regulars are here to see us. Okay, Nine of Swords is here too. Okay, so yeah, let's explore this Ten of Swords, Three of Swords, Nine of Swords energy. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to be in a mind and be with yourself when it feels like everything is out to get you. When it feels like your world is crumbling, the world is crumbling. Especially right now, there's been so much going on, both in the world at large, and if you're in the US, we had some pretty major and devastating things happen in our government over the weekend. There are major devastating things happening in places like Sudan, Palestine, the Congo, and the world is on fire. And it is very, very easy to get lost in those feelings, or to let your feelings of despondency, I don't think is quite right, but of loss of hope to kind of take over in these moments. But as I often say with these really difficult cards, it's less about the feelings themselves and more about how we choose to move through them. This week will be very much about excavation, very much about working through, of acknowledging the pain in our hearts and in our minds, and being willing to see the light on the horizon, being willing to turn your head just a little bit so that you can see the hope. And that's where this Ace of Cups really comes in. This abundance of love, of letting yourself not be, again, overwhelmed or overtaken by grief, but meeting that grief, meeting that pain with love, with the ability to transmute anger into action that is, again, based in love. I have had this conversation like a million times with like the love and light girlies. They like to tell me they hope I can stop being angry someday. But if I lose my ability to be angry, then I have lost my ability to love, because my anger comes from how much love I have for this world. And maybe that's something you can relate to. And we can use these feelings. We can use this anger. I'm going to pull up. Okay, the Five of Cups also came up too. Five of Cups, Judgment, the Chariot. We can use this sadness, this grief, this calling of our anger, of our, uncomfortable feelings to push us into action. And Chariot, we're talking about Cancer. We're in Cancer season. And again, Cancer, yes, it's big feelings. It's crying. It's like being in touch with our emotions, and it is care. Cancer is the mother of the tarot, or of the zodiac. And so that aspect of using our feelings, our emotions to pull forward and show up for the people in our lives, the people in our communities, to again, like, take these hard feelings, these feelings of grief and sadness and overwhelm, and turn them into action. Let them call us to that collective liberation. Let them call us to action. I'm just repeating exactly what I already said. And not giving up when we are inevitably met with even more challenge, because we will be. There will always be more challenge. The rest of the cards here are really, really beautiful. So, like, yes, lots of that, and things are great. We have the Chariot. We also have the Magician. So, your power and ability shining through. Again, we're using the difficulties. We're using the pain. We're using what we've learned from these experiences to start out on the next phase, to stand up in our power and trust that we have enough figured out, we know enough to get started, and the rest we can figure out as we go along. It's kind of being okay with not having all the answers and just using what you have right now to get started. And again, trusting that you have the power to carry it through. I mean, the Magician and Temperance, they feel like they go hand in hand, because the Magician is creation and manifestation, and Temperance is alchemy and the magic of working with what's before us, working with what we have. So again, taking those feelings, taking our emotions, and turning them into magic, using your anger to strengthen your love and using your love to strengthen your anger. And turning them into, again, action. Action's our word this week. There's always one. Yeah. So just like, do the thing. Follow your heart. Follow your mind. Follow the pull towards creation. Whether it be about collective liberation or not. But for me, it always is. And I believe it always is. Everything we create, even if it's for ourselves, it will end up serving everyone. Because creation begets creation. The energy that we put out when we make things affects the world around us. Any movement, any action, any expansion has a ripple effect. Okay. We have 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. So 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. Guess what, community? We can't have a week without talking about community. Sorry, don't know what that was about. But then also the 2 of Pentacles, that balance piece. And I mean, the 6 of Pentacles talks a lot about balance too. The balance of giving and receiving, of knowing when to ask for help instead of just always being the one to show up for other people, of giving your assistance from the right place, of not doing something just to get something out of it, but doing something because of the joy it will give the people in your life or the people on the receiving end. But then also knowing when to accept it, knowing when to accept that help. I cannot remember where I saw it. I saw it on Instagram, but I cannot remember who posted it. But there is this idea that being selfless is the way to go. That is somehow makes you a good person. But if we're talking about revolution and, again, collective liberation and anti-capitalism, refusing help does not build community. Refusing help is capitalist. It serves the individualistic ideas that capitalism has put onto us. So let people help you. Ask for people to help you. And trust that they will. Humans are by nature social and helpful creatures. We want to build community. We've just lived in this society for long enough that it has really beat it out of us. Which is really, really sad. I saw a video yesterday of a beekeeper who found a bee tangled in a spider's web. It wasn't dead yet. And so the beekeeper took the bee out of the spider's web and just brought it to the closest hive. Probably not that bee's hive, but immediately they brought the bee to the hive and a group of female worker bees started untangling this bee. And they said in about 10 minutes, the bee was free and went to fly off and find its own hive. So that just unquestioning, unconditional, this person needs help and we will help them. Not expecting to get anything in return, but knowing that when that is the norm, everyone who needs help will receive it. No questions asked. Finally, after all that, Page of Cups. We're back to this idea of emotions and leading with love and feeling into your emotions and exploring new ways to express them. This feels like the result of your alchemy, the result of your action with temperance, of turning grief into love. Let your heart lead you this week. Let your feelings talk to you. You know, there's this fine balance, going back to the 2 of Pentacles, between letting your feelings lead you and letting your feelings overtake you. Nine of Swords, wherever it went. So find that balance, but don't be afraid of your emotions. They're there for a reason. They're there to help you. Sometimes they're misguided, but learn that balance and learn how to turn all of it into fuel for love. Yeah. Another week, another podcast, collective reading about helping each other. Bottom of the deck, Hanged One. Again, recently the Hanged One was the bottom of the deck. So this underlying theme is still here of what are you willing to do? What are you willing to give in order to achieve the end result? How much discomfort are you able to sit with before it becomes dangerous? Again, in order to strengthen yourself, to shift your perspective, and to come out the other side better. Or if not better, expanded, more knowledgeable. Cool. Well, folks, that's it. That's the vibe for this week ahead. And what a good one, if you ask me. But they always are. They always are. Well, let's go ahead and close this out and then talk a little bit about what's coming up in Phaescraft magic world. Cool. You can once again close your eyes if it feels safe and good to do so. Otherwise, just let your gaze soften and settle. Take a couple of breaths. Feeling yourself once again in space. Imagining in your mind's eye the elemental forces, the air, the fire, the water, the stone that you've erected around yourself. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale and see your breath carry away those elemental barriers, releasing them back into the world. I release the spirits and guardians of the west, the south, the east, and the north, sending you back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Wonderful. Well, folks, another week, another class coming up this Saturday, July 6th. Spellcraft 101. I'm so excited. I love talking about spell work. It's like the most magical. If you ask most people, you don't need to do spells to be a witch, but it's fun. And if you want to learn more about doing spell work and incorporating spells into like everything you do, if you want to talk about building a grimoire, if you want to briefly touch on like, baneful magic, hexing, jinxing, cursing, what that means, etc., come to class. It's 25 buckaroos. A replay is available, so if you can't come live, July 6th, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Time, if you can't come, sign up anyway, and I'll send you the recording. You'll get a little PDF with some correspondences of like colors and herbs and stuff to help you build spells. And it'll be a great time. So yeah, link is in the description, where it always is. Cool, friends. Well, as always, it's been a pleasure. I'm so grateful to you for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you next time.